Don't email me if you're a success story. Email me if you're not. Virginia just wanted to break a 5-month weight loss stall. That's it. She came to life coaching with me without really knowing how I do what I do. She heard me interviewed, and something that I said caught her attention. And so she emailed me and requested a session as soon as possible. She came into session with the expectation, I suppose, that I would need to know all her physical things like her height and her weight and what she eats, etc., etc. I didn't need to know any of that because the way that I coach is that I trust the client is able to understand the information that's available online. And of course, if there are any questions, I will help. And if I don't know the answer, I will guide my client to the person who may know the answer. The realm that I work in is finding out what it is in the client's thoughts that they don't know that they're thinking, that's driving behaviors that are contra or opposite to what they want to be achieving. There's nothing more frustrating than doing everything right, following the rules, listening to all the content, doing as everyone else is doing, monitoring yourself, weighing yourself, measuring yourself, and being disappointed that your results are not at the same pace as other people who are reporting that they're doing what you're doing and you're doing what they're doing. There's nothing more frustrating. And I've lived a lot of that in my life, and not just with carnivore, but with a lot of things. I've had to break a lot of habits. I've had to discover why I was doing what I was doing when I didn't know and I couldn't get myself to do otherwise. From my experiences, I have learned, and I don't know how I am suited to learning this, particularly when there's not very much of this around. I am able to ask the right questions because I know what I'm looking for, because 15 years of my life has been devoted to looking into my thoughts, thinking about my thoughts, which can make you go a little nuts if you don't have the right constitution for it. What I've always been looking for and what I look for now with clients is evidence of behavior that is being driven by a belief that is different to what you consciously want. I'm able to ask the right questions so that you actually tell me what that belief is. Now, it takes a little time, but within one 50-minute session, I seem to be able to find, with your help, the thought that you're thinking that you don't know you're thinking, and therefore it's behaving like an invisible actor. Like I was explaining to you in our first session, as much as I want to help you get relief right now with whatever's going on for you, that's my first priority. Ultimately, what I really, really want for you is to have this underlying understanding of how it works in each wave that comes through. You become more of yourself and a more stable, strong self, and
Yeah.
with just a little bit of trust in the learning of this process, you can start to look for things. You can look for your beliefs in your behaviors, but you have to understand how it works first. And you have to experience relief, the relief that comes from finding that true alignment, from recreating or bringing back your emotions and your thoughts into true alignment. Once you have that experience, you're going to want to learn how. You're going to want to learn how to keep doing it. That's exactly what's happened with my client Virginia that you will see footage of. Virginia is a wonderful, wonderful woman who put her hand up to be filmed, and she she came to the film session, with um, an emotional misalignment that she needed sorting out, and we did that. So we have footage of an entire session that you'll see clips of, and eventually the full session will be um, published on this channel. And you'll also see her interviewed. So you'll see her responses. So the interview occurred after the second session had occurred, and she will she'll share with you how she feels about this kind of coaching. So I hope you follow along. I really hope you give yourself the time of day to understand what this is all about. And so each time, it's interesting. Each time the wave comes through, it feels just as emotional. It feels just as impacting. Like you never get used to it. It's kind of exhausting sometimes. Um,
Yeah.
but after the wave has passed
Mhm.
and you catch your breath, you kind of catch your breath and the shifts have happened. You've had a good sleep, and now you're interacting with the world, and you do feel that little bit stronger to be able to interact with the world. And so the trust that I want you to build in your journey of working through stuff, I want you to build this trust so that you step into that big wave more confidently every single time. If you learn how it works, then you can make all of your hard earned effort work for you. I don't want your hard work to be wasted. I don't want my hard work to be wasted. So I am now devoting a great deal of my time throughout the week to encouraging people to understand that this is part of the human system that we're working in. This is part of the natural system. The reason why you can be convinced to do things that you don't really understand, that's part of this system. The reason why you can be trained to be a conformist, that's part of this mental system. It's it's not an either or situation. It's not you can stop doing carnivore or you can stop doing keto or you can eat whatever you want. I firmly believe that if you follow the I eat whatever I like, then you're going to have to do whatever you're told. You step into it stronger and you step into it more willingly each time because you have faith in what the result is on the other side. Yes, you have experienced that it's going to be hard, but it doesn't kill you.
Mhm.
It makes you stronger,
Okay.
and not through a
Okay.
resistive strength, but through a truth that comes. You're going to find out something that's misunderstood within your mindscape. And so that's why I suggest you have the session and then you give yourself a couple of weeks and then you come back and you speak about the session so that you're actually being witnessed for the session itself and what you witnessed after the session,
Yeah.
because that builds this cyclical belief building
Okay.
process. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what we do when we're children. We have experiences and then we learn from them, and then we go out into the world and we interact using that as a truth. and then we either agree with it or we don't agree with it, and we keep learning. What I call emotional alignment is where you go from having an invisible subconscious truth, belief of truth, which is found out to be not true by you. So you end up telling me, because I asked the right questions, you end up telling me what this invisible actor truly is. And then I help you realize what this belief is that you don't consciously agree with. And when that occurs, you'll have a little emotional shock, which is okay because it passes within about a minute. And it doesn't hurt anyone. It's never hurt anyone. And you will feel a feeling of relief because for a very long time you have been working against this subconscious belief. And so we kind of need to mimic that in the coaching so that you're
Okay.
discovering truths, and then you come back and you talk about what you've discovered and the evidence that you've seen from that
Mhm,
makes it very real, real world truth,
mhm,
not just an idea.
okay, mhm,
And then it becomes more
yeah,
able to be integrated. And that's what I really want for you, because the more you can take that approach to it, and never ever will I say, oh no, you can't stray from that ideal program. Because if you need help, then you need help, and you need it when you need it. Um, but ultimately, what everyone, I think, it's just my philosophy, everyone should become autonomous
mm,
in their knowing that the healing comes through them,
mhm,
and you don't have to be reliant. So the subconscious belief is pulling you that way, and you want to go this way. And so you keep having to right the ship all the time. It's pulling you, and you have to bring it back all the time. That's wasted energy. That's energy that you could be spending on, well, something that brings you joy. You could be spending that energy playing with your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews. You could have hobbies that that ask of more of your body, more energy through you. But if you don't have that energy because you're spending all of your time trying to walk in a straight line because you have a subconscious belief that keeps pulling you off your alignment, well, you know what you got to do. Every single person on the planet can understand this because we live it. We live this. But we are encouraged at every moment, in every context of our modern world, to think that this is unimportant. This is the most important thing you could ever do for yourself, aside from removing toxins of the physical kind, like chemicals, from your body's environment. We're talking about straightening out your psychological environment, your emotional environment. And don't understand me wrong. I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to tell you what's true. You're going to tell me what's true for you. Just imagine what you could have if you didn't have anything in your own mind stopping you from being able to bring into the world what you want to bring into the world, your world. Just imagine. So if you don't want to be held back and you want all your hard work to be worth its true value, I highly suggest that you try some emotional alignment. And I can do that with you if you wish. Um, you also have to understand that I'm only one person and I can only do a certain number of sessions in a week. So, um, and I'm devoting many of them at the moment to being film sessions, which takes up a lot more of my time in creating content for people to understand what this is about. So I'm very, very much interested in helping people educate themselves about emotional alignment. And I am available for you to come and have a life coaching session with me if you wish. Um, you do not have to be filmed. You can pay the full amount and you can have no filming. But if you haven't got the money, or say, for example, you try one session, you have your successes, you feel your relief, and then you ask for a film session, well, that's fine too. Um, Pretty much anything goes. If you want to help me help many other people by allowing the filming, then I appreciate it so much that I'm happy to do that work for free.
I'm so happy. I'm so grateful to you. Thank
Oh,
you so much.
you're welcome.
You're
My pleasure.
you're just a I really feel that anybody that really feels like they might have a connection with your kind of coaching should really seek it out because it's
Mm.
so valuable. It's life changing.
Yeah, I think it is too. It's hard for me to tell people though. I'll change your life.
Right, right, right.
To be, in Australia, we say to be up yourself. It's not just the chemicals and the um, adulterated foods that have been shoved into us. We've also had a great deal of ideas put into our minds. And it's not for me to tell you what to believe and what not to believe. That's your choosing. But unless you know what you do believe, you don't have a choice. That's my point. If you don't know what is behaving as an invisible actor in your life, then, well, you don't know. And I really want people to know. And it's a hard slog convincing people that this is something that's very, very important for their own well-being. Just the same, it's hard to tell people to go carnivore, that it is also very important for their well-being. So I hope the right people are attracted to my channel and to my videos, and the everyday people are the people that I'm wanting to attract. I don't want the success stories. I want the people who are striving and they can't become a success story. They just can't figure it out. Let me help you. That's what I'm asking for. Let me help the people who desire success but cannot get there. Let me try to help you. That's all I want to do. Because if it's something in your subconscious, I'll find it. I hunt for the misalignment in your mind. If I can't find anything, then there must be a different kind of problem. You won't know unless you try. And you might think that you have nothing in your subconscious holding you back. But I think that's fear talking. Because I would have said that when I was frightened. It really has made all of my hard work not feel like hard work. And it's now helping me get results. So don't email me if you're a success story. Email me if you're not.